So, it's hot out here. It's probably hot where you're at too. But getting back to the subject of this video, what's the purpose of these narcissistic relationships? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And to best use this information, I really want you to kind of throw out what you know so far about this particular kind of relationship and what you believe about the narcissist and your relationship to the narcissist or these energies in your life. Because it is possible that up to this point, there's been a lot of blame and you've felt like a victim and powerless and all of these things, which, by the way, is a part of it. It's a huge part of it. But there's a whole nother side to this that we are going to highlight on. But the purpose of this narcissist, dark, empowered empath, and again, that dark empowered part just means you're able to use what you've experienced and alchemize it into something really incredible and powerful, is for you to fully and radically accept all parts of who you are. And not only fully accept who you are, but accept who you are before the conditioning, before all of these ideas and the criticisms and putting you into all these boxes for their own personal gain. For all of that happen, there was an authentic you. And whoever that beautiful being is, whoever you truly, truly are, is very likely probably different than most people. The chances are you are a pretty powerful person, even though you've been made to feel like you weren't so powerful after all. Even though some of you probably feel like you've been stripped down to, you may not even remember or know who you are. Some of you may be going through an identity crisis, and if that's the case, you are right where you need to be. You're in the perfect place to hear this information, because that would mean that the old identity, the identity that's been conditioned and told who to be, is trying to die. And the real you, the most genuine you, is emerging. And what that relationship with the narcissist does is it brings out all of the parts of you. It reveals all of the parts of you that silenced who you truly are, in order for you to see it very, very clearly. And oftentimes it does it in a painful way, in the most uncomfortable way. But really, what other way would you see it if it didn't do it in that way, right? What other way would you be able to identify and see it? And because the triggering is so deep, it causes enough anger inside of you to want to change. The anger is there for a reason, okay? It was so interesting, and even on my journey, is I used to be afraid of the anger. Because anger for me was explosive. That's how I experienced anger, even my own. At times, it was either passive or aggressive. There was no balance. So I was really uncomfortable with it, but you will find that anger is actually really a healthy part of this process. And we will get into that later. But the purpose of this kind of relationship is that, and I heard this once from somebody online, and I don't recall who it was, but every hero needs a villain. Because what does the villain do for the hero? It sharpens the hero, right? If you look at any superhero movie, and I am getting this particular part of what I'm saying online from this person that I heard it from, and I do not recall who it was. But the villain causes the hero to really understand his or her own power and to really sharpen her skills and how to navigate this world, because we don't live in a world that just has fairy dust, flowers, and rainbows. We live in a world with duality and polarity, and you have to know how to navigate this. But not only that, let's take it many steps further. If I'm speaking to you, chances are you're somebody who is a trailblazer, a way shower. You're a powerful person. And, these kind of relationships come in many forms. It's not, it doesn't discriminate against, status. There's poor people that are in these kind of relationships across the board. And there's, rich people that are in these kind of relationships. Status and class doesn't matter. But the purpose, the main purpose, is for you to really get in touch with who you are and to celebrate that person. To celebrate that person because you have been told to be somebody else. And if you're listening to this video, you're probably very much realizing that that's not working for you anymore. That your unhappiness is coming from having to do it everybody else's way, that you're not feeling like your voice is heard, that you're not feeling seen or understood for who you really truly are. And I'm going to describe you in the next video. But in this video, I wanted you to understand the point of it all. And another thing that I want to add to this is that it is very possible that you are the generational curse breaker. And I can't wait to get into that information because it's really deep. You are most likely the one that's going to break this curse. That goes back probably several generations. For some of you, it was your parents, maybe your mother, that, she may have been the narcissist, or your father, or it could have skipped a generation and it could have been your grandmother. And that's really important too, by the way. The grandmother energy is really kind of important in this, and that's how it came through in my life personally. But it's so deep. My grandmother helped me with this journey and this information. And my grandmother passed, and we're going to talk about that a little bit down the line. But the reason why it could feel so tough for you in this journey is because it's a lot to carry. This isn't for the weak. This journey is not for the weak. But you were made for this. You are super capable. That's why you are hearing this information. The other purpose of this kind of relationship, and if you, and chances are you are the generational curse breaker, is that it puts you in tune with your spiritual power and your spiritual authority. And let me tell you, when you really do the work and you look at this from the perspective that I am presenting to you, the type of spiritual authority and power that you have, it is limitless. And that may sound like just words, but you only know if you know. It's nothing you can just tap into just because you want to. It's definitely something that you tap into because you've done the work. It is the rewards of doing the work. And really, this kind of tapping into your personal power, this is what you've been waiting for your whole life. This is where you're not afraid of anything or anyone, because you understand who you are, and you understand that your quote-unquote differences, what makes you different than others, is actually your gifts, even down to some of your habits that other people may have made wrong about you because you don't do things like normal people do. So stay tuned. And if you're ready to work with me, I offer one-on-one coaching, and I'll leave that information down below.